Hey guys, Adrian here from the Digital Dojos and for the Laker Cool Man channel, Kid Guru. It's been a while, actually, since I've actually even used that opening. But anyways, there goes my Mac. This video is actually about the opposite of that. It's about Windows 8, and the consumer preview was just released recently, so that people can download it, check it out, put it on a a netbook, put it on a virtual machine, put it on a spare machine they had, dual boot into it, and get a feel for the first kind of like a pre-release of Windows 8. Again, it's not finalized by no means, but it is a really a nice glimpse at what is to come in Windows 8, and very soon. So by no means is it perfect. There's still going to be a lot of bugs with it. It's a just for you to preview. Obviously, that's the whole word there. Windows, it is stable. It works great. It's not crashing all the time, but there is you're going to discover a few bugs, and that's why they do this stuff, so people can report on the stuff and say all the stuff that's gone, that they've had the experience with it, and see all the reviews. And it is a whole new reimagined Windows 8. Now, I myself have in the process of downloading the developer preview. This video is not about the developer preview, like a demo, more of a overview of it. I'm going to have a separate video up on the site over at Digital Dojo, so be sure to check that out. So, Windows 8 experience, a whole new reimagined Windows. We'll have pictures flying in here, as you can see. It's designed with, not only desktops and laptops in mind, but now more touch tablets, touch devices, stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that you can do with your mouse from swiping and, clicking and dragging, you can now do, touch features using your finger on touch devices like tablets, any sort of touch, device. Windows 8 is going to be kind of taking from the whole Windows Mobile, kind of like Apple's taking from iOS and implementing it into their operating system. Windows is doing the same. They're reimagining Windows. They're throwing all this, new UI on it. It's called the Metro UI, which you can see here, and a couple of other stuff. So, what are the requirements for Windows 8 and specifically this developer preview? You need to have at least a 1 gigahertz or faster processor, 1 gig of RAM, 32 for 32-bit. They recommend 2 gigs for 64-bit, 16 gigs available of hard drive space for 32-bit, 20 gigs for 64, DirectX 9 graphics card, and 1024 by 768 minimum screen resolution. So most of that stuff is actually dimmed down. So they're trying to lower the requirements that not hardware that you need to run Windows 8. Windows 7 was a great improvement from Windows Vista in terms of the hardware you can run it on, and how Windows 7 runs much better on older hardware than Windows Vista did. And Windows 8 is trying to lower the baseline of the hardware you need in order to run at optimal performance, or at least decent performance. Again, these are minimum requirements. So I just want to overview a couple features that are coming up in Windows 8 and some of the new stuff that you may be looking forward to if you don't want to download the preview to try it out yourself. Cloud transfer is one of them. Cloud transfer is something we're seeing a lot implemented now from iCloud and all these other services. Basically allows you to back up your data, transfer your data from PC to PC if you're hooking up a new PC with Windows 8 through the cloud, so using storage on the internet and all of that. A new thing is also called Charms, Windows Charms. There's a whole videos on this, you can look this up. But basically, it is a kind of like a shortcut, a way to navigate through Windows quicker when you're within. I believe the Windows shortcut's going to be Windows key C to get into Charms, and you can kind of navigate, search stuff quickly, access sites, apps, kind of like a quick launch bar type thing, or an application launcher of sorts. So it's just going to allow you to navigate Windows quicker. Search is still packed in full, as in Windows 7. When Windows 7 came out, the great search bar came in when you go into your Windows Start menu. You can search your files, your settings, applications, all of that. They're packing in a lot of search options within Windows 8 that's going to make it fluid and easy for you to find the thing you're looking for, whether it's a file, an application, all of that. Kind of like an all-in-one search utility. Sharing, they're doing a lot of things with sharing in terms of pushing content on the web. I think they even have stuff with like your SkyDrive. I believe that's called Windows SkyDrive, and you can use stuff like the SkyDrive. You can share it with a mail app. Kind of just being able to push out to share with people or your contact and stuff like that, because it's going to tie into, like, if you have a Windows phone, it's going to have a great support for devices if you want to get photos from a digital camera and shoot them to your TV and stuff like that. Also, it's going to play in with your Xbox as an extender, and you can use your Xbox. I think there's what they call device charms, which allow you to stream video right into your Xbox to your TV, or to show it on your TV. So they're gonna have obviously backwards compatibility with all their devices, since they have so much popular hardware out there like the Xbox. They're going to take advantage of that, something that Apple doesn't have. They have the Apple TV by all means, but since the Xbox is such a huge market from gamers, they can now sling their content. They've always been able to, but Windows 8 just kind of make it in the foreground and make it easier to extend content from your Windows machine over to your Xbox so you can see it on the big screen. Same thing with your other devices and share it out. Some other stuff, switching and snapping. The snapping feature is kind of like it was in Windows, I think Windows 7 has that as well, but they're kind of implementing it in a newer way. You can have gestures now, so if you touch and just swipe from left edge to go back to your last app, so kind of, just kind of very Apple-esque in a way. Or kind of swiping between to go through a certain, back through your history of apps. You can do this with the mouse as well. Everything you can do, I believe, with the touch gesture, you can do the same thing with the mouse. Additionally, they're going to have apps from the Windows Store. They're just calling it the Windows Store right now. It's or not even an app store. I think it's just called Store. But basically, this just has the Windows applications that are going to be compiled within it. So you can download some apps from, like basic stuff like weather, finance. I think there's like a Xbox Live application. So, I mean, it's not as packed as, per se, the App Store or anything like that, but they are getting a great amount of applications in there. I'm sure they'll reach out to developers to put their applications in there so you can kind of have one place to get all your applications when you just install your Windows machine. You don't have to go to all your websites. You can go to, the Windows Store and download the top downloads, download the top rated, and find new applications. So it's a great experience, of course. Internet Explorer is also new. I believe they're going to be packing it with Internet Explorer 10. Obviously, I've never been a fan of or Internet Explorer, I should say. I know a lot of people aren't. I prefer, Chrome, Firefox, and even Safari over that. But Internet Explorer 10 isn't bad by any means. It's Internet Explorer gets a lot of bad name. But I mean, preferably I want to use it, yes. But Internet Explorer 10 isn't too bad. They've reimagined that as well. They've updated the interface to fit more with Windows 8, so they look more fluid. Navigation controls, tabs, all of that are redesigned. And you're gonna see the same picture I'm seeing here. So it is meeting nicer in terms of the interface with Windows 8. It mixes more, so it does look fluid and it is faster. It's updated with modern standards, HTML5. And all that jazz. So, I mean, it is a nice new update to Internet Explorer, and it provides stuff like safer browsing and all that. And a lot of people just use Internet Explorer, and it has a lot of base just because it's, the default browser installed on Windows. And some other stuff. Lastly, they're going to be talking about security. Security is also coming. Obviously, Windows is always a threat to security because it's a bigger market out there. It's being packed with, I believe, Windows Defender, the latest version of Windows Defender for spyware, malware, all of that. So it's going to be packed with protection. And obviously the permissions are still going to be there, stuff like UAC and all of that. So you can set up stuff to, prevent and limit hours, parental controls. All of that will still be there. But, like with Windows 7, a lot of people in Vista didn't like the whole XP. Coming from XP to Vista, the whole UAC or user account control kind of got annoying, making sure you want to download this before you do it. While from a security standpoint, that is very secure because, you want to warn the user if they're installing something they may not know they're installing. But a lot of people turned it off in Vista or kind of dimmed it down. In Windows 7, it was still there, it's still around, but it's just not as obtrusive. I'm sure in Windows 8 they'll still have the exact same user account control features. But again, now it's just not as obtrusive as it was in Vista, and you know how to dim it down and even turn it off if you really don't like it. And the last misconception, a lot of people are talking about the desktop, is this whole new Metro UI taking over. The desktop is still going to be around. The whole Windows desktop UI is still around, and it's still, going to run all of your native apps that you run on Windows, with the ribbon button in the bottom left, the file management, the networking features, all of that's still around. Just the Metro UI is just kind of what's laid on top. It's like if you've ever downloaded or gotten like a netbook with like HP, Splash Top or whatever. The Metro UI is kind of like a forefront of the operating system, and then you can go into the actual, old interface you're used to. While the Metro UI may throw off some new users who aren't really familiar, because it's kind of hard to update with the new UIs for such a general audience like Windows, because there's so many, it's a vast array of users, because people use it for business, for personal use, for work, and all of that it's such a, something you're so used to, but when you see the new Metro UI, it's going to be kind of thrown off and all that. So I'm not sure how well people are going to adapt to it. It's always like that with change. A lot of people aren't going to like it. A lot of people are going to like it. Personally, the Metro UI, it's okay. I mean, it's more geared toward. I think it's more of a quirky thing where if you have touch, yeah, it's a great interface. it doesn't really seem something like that I would want to navigate even with a mouse. But that's just my own personal opinion. But anyways, these are the key things that are new in Windows 8. They also have a developer section if you want to check that out, where you can help develop apps for it and look into bugs and reporting stuff to help make Windows 8 a better experience when a final release comes out. So you guys can download the Windows 8 consumer preview. I myself, like I said, I'm about to run it in a virtual machine after I get done with this video, test it out, and probably record a video on that. You can get the full details and coverage of Windows 8 overview over at digitaldojos.com. I'm currently working on the blog post. After I record this video, I'm going to get that put out and pushed out to the public for you guys. So head over to digitaldojos.com or check out the link in the description below to get the full article on Windows 8 and the consumer preview. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe, and check out my other channel, of course, at youtube.com/digitaldojos. I'll catch you guys in the next video.